What's up, John? What's up, Frank? Let's get some sound. Be a little too loud. Making some mashed potatoes. I got done making some. I made some pork ribs and what else? Mac and cheese. Your shipping address? What do you want? What guitar are you trying to get, John? That red one? Let's see if we can get that back on there. Why is that crooked? Feels crooked to me. That's gonna bother the shit out of me, ain't it? Ain't it? Let's see. Oh, no. What did it say? I didn't get to read it. Oh, the Jackson apart? Yeah, I took it apart. It's back together already. Let me see. Will that go into there? Actually, I can plug it in. I did a truss rod. I had to take, that thing was a pain in the ass. I had to take the whole neck off. Why is this so crooked? Wonder if I can put it inserted into underneath. Yeah, I ended up having to take the whole, oh, that's better. So I took the whole neck off and the pick guard out to do a neck adjustment on there. We can plug it in, but it immensely helped the guitar. I want to sand the back of the neck too. All back together, brother. I put some slinkies on the hybrids. I wanted to see how that would feel on here. See if it's pretty straight still. Yeah, so it's still setting in. I had to set the neck and get it I might put stainless steel frets on that one. Whoops. Don't knock the Kramer over. Yeah, I had to adjust it through. It looked like a hole in the neck. I still can't make that work in rock and roll, brother. The dominance evidence. It's good for like it's good for pop songs, kind of like Bruno Mars. You got a roasted maple strat neck. You want to sand? You're afraid to ruin the brown finish. Yeah, I'm gonna sand that neck down a little bit, and then I might put I might take it to my buddy and let him. I might put jumbo frets on there, stainless steel jumbos, because I like the way that guitar plays a lot and the way it sounds. I actually did this neck too today. As you can see, the truss is right here, right by the neck. I wish they did that with that one too. Let me see. Let me fix my other TV. I did some new tracks as well. I sent him to the Beast. He liked them. Whoops. Search. So we got the Beast like the tracks. Let's see. I can find the new ones. Let me find the new ones, or I think at the end. I think I did 2 more new ones. What's up, MT? I'm gonna find a new. I did 2 more new tracks for Gabe. So I think I got 5 tracks I gave him. We'll find the tracks. Yeah, it's gonna be. Well, you know what's cool is you guys get to see the ride. You know what I mean? Like the whole Warpigs thing and the legends. So you guys get to see the band get together, and if Gabe actually can put some cool lyrics down, and we get to record it, maybe do a video. Yeah, just fucking fun. I think they're right after this one. So I think there's 2 more new ones. Here you go. Oh no, that's the old one. I redid the old one. You can thank Allison for that part. She said put some keys in there. This is the new one. That's it. Yes. So a lot of that has pitch on there and stuff. A lot of people want to know how I'm doing that, but I don't know what I'm tuned to on this. But a lot of it is just that kind of palm muting, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. It's really, what's Paul? It's really simple licks. You just gotta kind of time it and mute it and stuff. And usually when I record, I take almost all the, like I'll roll. So the other thing I do is I'll do this. So I roll the lows off. Thanks, bro. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, like I sent all the tracks to Dave, and he was like, "Damn, bro, that sounds really good." He goes, "We might have to make them a little bit heavier." I go, "You can put the beast on there," but it's always like that kind of stuff. It's just basic pentatonics. That one was was an E. It was like that. It was with D, E, and E. Of course, it didn't have the reverb on there. And it had the pitch shift on there too. Let's see. That kind of stuff. This one might be flat. I don't know what I recorded that one on. I think it might be a half step down. What did I record that on? Can't remember. I might have been the Jackson. But yeah, so it's like tuned down a little bit. And then you have like that little pitch on there. That kind of stuff. It's just, I call them cheap licks. You know, you got to kind of keep it a little bit like on the commercial side, you know, to get on the radio, or they end up tanking you. I don't think it'll get on the radio anyway, but it's like on the commercial side of writing. Oh yeah? You're doing Creative Studio now? Yeah, it's good, man. So like, you know, you just play and then come up with a riff. And let me take all this back off. Put the cab back. Sounds weird when you had the bass back, right? Yeah, this has hybrids. Yeah, they're hybrids. I haven't played hybrids in a long time. That I put hybrids on the other one too. Oh. I haven't played that in fucking years either. Yeah, it should be pretty fun. That chord sounds expensive. Yeah, especially an umbilical cord with twins at the other end. Oh yeah, yeah. So like, I mean, a lot of people. So so I have to be careful what I show. I might show part of it, but I don't know if I can actually show the program I use because it I don't own it. It belongs to the label, you know, and that'll help get like I use Pro Tools, I use Virtual Drummer, I use Ableton. So I don't use Pro Tools. I think Pro Tools over compresses the sound quality. So I use Ableton just to compress my files. You know, it's not a full mix down, they're just clips. But you know, a lot of people. So I like running into the Tascam Neo and doing everything live, and then going into the computer. It makes it much easier for me, and then I can separate everything and keep stuff. So like I was telling Dave, I said I kind of fucked up when I did the mix. When I did a quick mix of it, and he goes, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "Well, it sounded perfect for me because I didn't hear the bass." And I go, "Well, why do you want to hear the bass?" He goes, "Because I don't want any influence when I put the bass down." I was like, "Well, there's bass in there." I said, "I use an octave pedal on the bass as well." And he goes, "Really? I couldn't hear it." I go, "Well, what happened was when I mixed it all down. What I should have did is mix the guitar and the drums because I scooped it and took the mids out. So I should have, you know, it has like let's see, that kind of scoop sound to it. But they, you know, so but I ended up scooping the bass, and I should have left the bass on and put the bass on with the mids to give it more punch with the kick. So I kind of fucked that up. So I admittedly fucked it up. Yeah, yeah, it's so it's just you know, like because you guys have asked me before, how come you don't play like that on the tracks? Because it's not warranted. It takes away, you know, it takes away from. And I've done this when I've soloed with the tracks. You have to. There's a limit. Like you know, like even Randy Rhoads. You listen to him live, it's totally different than on the album. Eddie Van Halen, totally different from the album as opposed to live. And so like I've always had that mindset. You bought that Marshall? That thing's badass, bro. I should have bought that too. That sounded really good in that video. And that was right when Sam Ash went out of business, and I should have bought that 1 watt. That's a really good recording head. What's up, Mr. Night Owl? Yeah, it's okay to practice and improv and solo and learn how to put like all the flashy stuff in there. You know, but, but like usually I try not to outplay speedwise the drummer. I try to play like in tempos. So if I'm doing licks or tempo, and it sounds like so like if I'm working position to position, you know. So if I hit that So I take that note and I find the octave, and I work off that octave to the chord. So instead of hitting that note, I jump and throw the lick off that. Like that. So that's kind of like some of the like little tricks that I do when I record. Like when you hear those licks thrown in there on top. So I try to find the note that and I jump an octave higher or maybe two. So like it I'll look smoking. So I look for those kind of things, where it's so I'll look for certain notes like target tones to throw the licks in. Or I throw some of those licks in there too. So a lot of those licks are based off of the chord tones. Like what I'm doing is what I explained to you guys. If I'm playing a G, that lick will be off that G. And if it goes to a D, but you don't want to try to outplay the drummer. Like if he's going, now I'm not in tune, but let me show you something quick. So I probably drop it down a step. Let me see. I'm gonna have to go. See the speed of the drums? So you want to try to get your lead speed to match like almost like you. So when I do fills, I kind of think of it as a drummer. So like he's keeping that same speed. He's not going you know what I mean? So it stays syncopated with what you're doing. So if I'm going, so I try to keep the speed equal with the drums. So like I've said this before too, when I coming up with a lot of these licks were based off drum patterns. So like the so like it's drum speeds in like 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. So like anything I do, I listen to the. Adrian got pissed with Nico. Why? What happened? What did Nico do? No shredding at all. Ballads. Got to you got, and that's like another trick. So you got to be careful where you bend. So like if you're too high up, you got to watch. Do I bend a half to the step and a half? So you have to pick and listen to the note when you're going to bend it. Or do you pick that half note? You know what I mean? So you got to listen and try to. Oh, that's awesome, Tony. Hope you're healing good too. So like when you pick these notes, you have to think do I take the chance on a ballad live or on a track? And on a track you get a lot of punch-ins that you can go over, but that's one thing if it's your band. But in a studio, like as a studio session guy, you wouldn't want to take a lot of time trying to perfect that tonal note. You know what I mean? So you might pick so you might have to lead into the bend. Something like that, or you know what I mean? Yeah, man. Yeah, I won't forget you. I won't forget you, baby. And slides are great too. Not a lot of people slide anymore. So you can create like licks like that off of like the jumping with like two strings. And this kind. I wish I had a. I want to get one of those. What do you call it? Sustainer. I need a sustainer. Sustainers sound great on ballads. Like a sustainer pickup. Those things fucking. They just keep singing that note. Like even that kind of stuff. You kind of want to stay away from that, even on the ballads, and work two strings up. Stuff more like that. Yeah, and Ebos are fucking cool as shit too. The small bends, yeah, yeah, yeah. I love the half step bends. But like even I like to bend a lot. I love doing like that, all those bends and that kind of stuff, like right there. It sounds really tasty, And I think having great phrasing and tasty is more important than technique. And you could do like repeatable licks a lot like that. That works a lot too. Unison bends are good too. Yeah, I love bending. They eat the batteries fast. The Ebos or the sustaining act pickup. Yeah, I love a lot of bending. That's why I loved like David Gilmour and Alex Lyson. I love the way both of those two guys bent. Like when they would hold notes and just let them fucking sing. And then working off one note is a really good technique too. Almost going back to a note off a chord tone. Yeah, it's that boomer bend shit is stupid. you, you know, and the whole thing about that is like you better be careful who you say boomer bend to, because you say that to Ingve, he's gonna fucking tear you up with scales, or Tony McAlpine. They do boomer bends, but I think that was more related to like a uh, maybe like a Creedence Clearwater or a BB King kind of style. Where it's not like a super technical guitar player, but there's a lot of super technical, like Paul Gilbert and Tony McAlpine, Greg Howe. They'll tear you up. You talk about boomer bends, they'll throw the boomer bend right in your face and then fucking shred all over you. Yeah, and Tim's a decent guitar player. It's not my cup of tea, but he's not doing anything any different than like a Stanley Jordan. Stanley was playing chords and stuff with two hands and all that, you know. And I don't really see anything that he's doing any different. Arpeggios with fucking tapping. That we all did that back in the '80s. Yeah, but like all the stuff where you're going like, all that and stuff. I mean, we were doing that kind of shit in the '80s. Eddie Van Halen with the tapping. I mean, there's all kinds of way to do those kind of bends too, even with the tapping. Yeah, I like Slash's lead playing. He's got some really tasty stuff too. And I just found out. What did I find out? I was talking to some people. I didn't know Gavin Rosdale was his dad was like a millionaire from Bush. So another one, and his dad was paying the labels. Oh brother. I mean, I did like Bush, but he was a poster boy for the labels to sell posters and shit. Gavin Rosdale. I keep hearing little bits of stories of some of these people here and there. It's crazy. I don't tap no more. I used to tap a lot, but like I said, I would do that kind of stuff, or the 3-4 finger stuff, or the chord stuff. Like that's what I mean. Like we were doing that kind of shit in the '80s. And I'll look for different tapping, like weird stuff like that. And a lot of people don't understand tapping. So, like, if I was to tap a lot of it is triads. So, if you play a G, B, that's G major. What's your next chord? A minor. What's after A? B. B. C major. D. A lot of people don't understand. You're just tapping triads for the chords. You know, because a lot of people random tap, but if you're here, that spacing is a major triad. So that yeah, a lot of people don't talk about how to create the tapping. They just tap all over the fretboard according to scales, and that's not how Eddie did it. He tapped triads like a piano. He played piano, so he would tap the triad. G and A. Yeah, yeah, and what I liked about Vito, he would do stuff like. Uh, he did some cool, like, where he would pull the string. I mean, it can be cool, but you have to do it right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'll take like a dime bag lick. Something like that. Yeah, yeah, Tommy Emmanuel is fucking ridiculous, bro. Yeah, the root above the 12th. Yeah, Montgomery does it well too. Yeah, Tommy does some really cool tapping stuff, especially with the harmonics, you know, where he's doing that, like you're saying. He can get some really cool sound, especially on an acoustic, you know, but like if you're here. So if you look at this arpeggio here, there's Z, right? So here's your A. So when I tap this, I'm going to look at this arpeggio. And then pull it up. Yeah, he doesn't hit the fret. But like if you so like because this is the E minor arpeggio and this is A minor, A and E are your fives. That's why it. So the 5 and the 1 sounds good together like that. G and A. So I would do stuff like that. Yeah, he does like stuff where you're like, you know, I can't do it no more. Where he's pinching the. Well, I don't know if you guys can see. I had surgery on this finger. I almost lost it, so it's crooked now. My finger's crooked. This fucking plastic surgeon did such a shitty job. I can't get my finger straight. It's hooked down where my thumb isn't in the right spot to do that anymore. Yeah. But it's a cool technique where they can pinch. You know. Yeah, and you can get that going fast because it's almost like your thumb picking, you know. Kind of like that. Yeah, so what happened is I was at a buddy's house and I was standing in his doorway and I kind of slid down the doorway with my hand like on the casing. I went to slide down to tie my shoe and I kind of slid my hand down as I was going down and had a splinter go into my finger. So I'll tell you the whole story because this is what led. The reason why I have all these issues today is because of the finger. And you're going to go, what do you mean? So what happened was I get a splinter into my finger. So I go into my doctor's office at the time and there was a nurse practitioner in there. And that was Cano Health. And ended up she pushed the splinter in and I ended up with gangrene. So I went to the hospital and they had to cut my finger from here like a V and to get the splinter out. But when they did that, they had nicked some nerves, so my finger didn't go straight again. So my finger's kind of crooked compared to my other ones because it should have been like this, and now it's twisted because of the way they did that. But what happened was my body wasn't responding to the antibiotics, right? So they said, we got to give you a drug called Linzoid. I'm like, okay. They're like, we got to scan your liver and kidney. I was like, yeah, whatever. And then the girl that's scanning me goes, you have liver disease. I'm like, yeah, no figure. Drinking and drugs and everything when I was young. And so they want to set me up for a surgery and everything. And they give me the Linzoid, and I finally go home, and then they want me to clear up the infection and then do surgery for uh, for the finger. They end up doing the finger, and that was all good, healing from that. So my wife's in the medical, so she said, "You let me have my work scan you because they said you had liver disease." So she got really fucking panicked. So because after they tell you that, you have like a year or two to live, and so like the finger really didn't matter anymore. This was probably about 5 6 years ago. So then they scan me at her work, and the girl that did it goes, you don't have liver disease. That's that's a cyst, and the cyst was the size of an IV bag. It was huge. So I go to a specialist. He doesn't want to do it. So he sends me to this guy, Adam Checkfer, in Plantation Hospital, which is kind of far from me. And they put me in a MRI machine and they aspirate it. So they aspirate it and they pull it out, and he shows me the pictures. It's like a big bag of pus like that. So I get out, and I'm like, damn, that was a big thing in there. So I get out and I go to my dad's with my kid, and he's in Sebastian. We're having a great time, and all of a sudden I feel really sick. Then I coded. So what happened is when they punctured the cyst, it was attached to something, and it filled back up with blood because they punctured it. Now the blood was getting into my body, and then after that, um, my dad called my wife. She came up and get the kid, and I went into the hospital, and then I met a doctor who actually people fly in. Thank God, because this guy was a Patrick Domkowski. He does surgeries from all over the world. People fly in. I got lucky because if that was down here, I probably would have been dead. But so I ended up. He goes in to fix it, and he finds a tumor the size of, I don't know, a big melon right in the center of my stomach. And for years I complained about stomach issues, and they said it was my gallbladder and this and that, and they ended up taking that out, the tumor. But when they did, they took part of the lower bowel, lower intestine, 5 lymph nodes. Now they thought that the stomach surgeries had created all these stomach issues with me, which made sense. But that doctor Figueroa was like, no, I healed them. And then after years of suffering with these pains and all kinds of weird shit going on with my stomach, I was getting these weird leg cramps once a year, wake me up. So last October, I think it was, the paramedics came and they're like, again? And I'm like, yeah, man. I go, I'll send you a postcard every year. Just come and get me the same time every year. And the guy he went to stick the IV in, and I moved. And when he hit me, he hit a nerve, and I sat up screaming, ah! And and then I go, and then I'm looking, and he goes, what? And I'm like looking around, and he's like, what? I go, dude, all my pain's gone. And they're like, then the three paramedics look at each other, and they're like, dude, you got, because they knew my situation. They're like, you have nerve damage somewhere. And I never told them I was in. I got a dump truck released half of its load of granite rock on me on I-95, and I hit him doing 70. The rock skidded off and everything. So that's what happened. Yeah, yeah. Eddie does that on the beginning of Women in Love. Sorry. Yeah, doctors suck. I just posted on Rhett Shull's page because he's talking about buying his course and why people are stuck at intermediate. And I go, bro, you do not have the authority of the human psychic mind. Everybody that thinks because and no offense to any of you guys if you teach, and it's okay to teach up to a certain level, but the reason why a lot of us fail is because we're not taught right. And it's not just what you teach, it's the theory behind the teaching, the psychology. There's more than one path. That's why it's everybody in school thinks it's a one-all course and everybody learns the same exact way. But people process information differently because we're all different. And people who are instructors that don't take a course on psychology don't understand and how to teach. It's not what you're teaching, it's how to get it across to different people. And I said, hence why you're shilling your product and you have no degree in psychology or how to teach. Just because you can play some chords and songs or you know theory doesn't make you an expert in teaching. And Tiger Woods said it the best. He said, I cannot relay the information of the feeling I get when I play, so therefore I am a bad teacher. No, she didn't dump me after she found out I had a crooked finger. Yeah, we've been together since high school. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like the last couple 6 years of my life. But that's where I was having a lot of depression and other things. Even though I was playing and still fighting back to play and stuff, I had a lot of depression because I felt like I failed as a father because I wasn't able to play ball with him. He was growing up in his young years, and I hate to say it, but I kind of felt like my dad. My dad wasn't around much when I was young because he was busy working, and I know how that made me feel, and I know he says it's okay, but at the same time, I know it's not okay. We do stuff, and I've tried. The first time I was healing, I was okay. Then the truck thing happened, and I tore everything. I had to have the second operation, and after the second one, I was never the same. The gabapentin's helping out, but yeah. Yeah, I've been through some shit. But and that's where like I became friends with Steven. Yeah, because he got hurt and he's paralyzed now and he's in a wheelchair from the waist down. He broke his back or something, and it's and I because he doesn't tell a story. I'm like, listen, you should tell your story because here you are, you have a kid, your wife left you, and you're on your own and you're independent and you're still fucking teaching and playing guitar. That's an inspiration, man. So like that's why I say like you guys help me just as much as I help you. It might be in a different way because a lot of people don't see that. And even talking about this and telling you guys, what's going on and stuff. And then I got like asshole Zach who emailed me again saying my channel's not going anywhere. Well, we'll see about that. If I gotta pay a fucking $1 million for YouTube to ban you for life, I'll fucking do it. Let's just say that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, Tom, you're absolutely right. And sometimes It's kind of like math. You know what I mean? Like there are tricks and stuff to math and everything. So my kid was failing at math. So I started teaching him how I grew up doing math, like multiplication. Now he's like the best student in math, and you know, and his reading is dropping, but his math has gone to the top. Yeah, yeah, he's a cool kid. Yeah. But I feel bad. I try to do as much with him. The cool thing is, like I had a bunch of companies and this and that, and I was always busy with the writing, and I was really, really busy. But I things happen for a reason, so I get to make up for it. And I've been probably for 10 years haven't really done anything, and then that happened to me. But he saw me at some of the shows and stuff and wanted me to play again. But it's hard on me, so like that's what I'm saying. If I go out, I'll have to be careful on how many shows, like in a row, for how long. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like I said, there's different avenues of teaching. That's why half of the students in a class, that's why half the students in America fail, because it's a one course teaches all, and it doesn't work that way. And we all know that if you find somebody you like that you can relate to, they think more on the way that you think, so that you can relate to the way that they relay the information to you, and you understand it and accept it better. So there's also that relationship thing, but we gravitate towards people that are like us. You know what I mean? The comment's not there. He probably deleted it. I'll show the comment. It's in my phone. I'll next time I do a video, Deer Creek, I'll show the comment. I sent it to Tennis Nuts. You know why? Because it goes against everything that he just shilled. And I'm not against for anyone to teach. It's just like you can't sell a course for a one thing fits all. That's like saying that everybody loves pizza. No, it doesn't work that way. People have different tastes. Their sensories work different. So they process sights and sounds different. Triggers thought patterns differently. Thanks, Paul. Yeah, like I said, I'm not afraid to talk about the drug thing that happened to me. I got set up by my fucking best friend who was my bodyguard, and he also set up a girl. If I was, my dad was a police major. My uncle was on the Ways and Means Committee for 26 years. I never was arrested. All of a sudden that happens, and it's a close personal friend, and then nothing after that. Really? Come on, you got to put two and two together and go, yeah, that was a setup. Same thing with you know like all the stuff, like just in general, like Tom is laid off, but Zach still thinks he's not making comments about the guitars and this and that. Now it's my channel ain't going nowhere. Don't be too sure of yourself. Things take time. I'm a very patient person that way. He'll get his in the end. The Red Shell Boogie. So, I'm buying 50 guitars tonight. That's funny. The Black Channel show to the poster. Yeah, yeah. Teaching is a whole art to itself. Yeah, and visual. That's why, like, sometimes you might have to go over something and say, like, that's why I always say I show stuff in relative to what I play in, and I don't like. I could show you a bunch of different keys, but like dominant seven chords, they're great, but for jazz and pop, because if you do something like, let's see. Let me find a. That's probably loud as shit, right? Like a D dominant 7 here, or a G7 here. Those are chords that you can use in pop songs, or like a Bruno Mars. You're not going to use it in a rock song. You know what I mean? You might use something like this. Something like that, but it's hard to. So like for me to teach like a dominant seven and stuff, it's almost like pointless unless you're into jazz or that kind of stuff. So if you're, but I mean, there's like the A sevens and like a minor seven and a major seven. Those are like the certain chord tones, like you were saying, the 2 6, But a lot of people, no, because it's a good thing. What's up, Cool Breeze? Because it's almost like it has a specific sound to it. So if I play that with overdrive, because you want to resolve the 5 to the 1, it just doesn't sound good with all that gain. You know what I mean? But there's certain things that work and certain that don't. Now, if you're into writing ballads and keyboards and stuff, where you're gonna do like almost like a reggae-ish or then that works. You see what I mean? I have lots of reverb on there. So like going back to even if I then like if you do something like that less gainy with more of a rhythmical sound, those chords work very, very well. Yes, clean with chorus is where you would use it a lot, I don't know what I do with my patches though. Let's see. Even if you you get those really cool sounds out of that. Yeah, the rolling jazz chords. Something like that. Something like that would sound good. No, that's my neck. That would be the bridge. Yeah. Like a JC90 or the 120 sounds pretty with those chords, but you have to. Like I could see them in Pink Floyd would be a great band to use the dominant sevens. It would. So here you go. Something like that, maybe. That's a big stretch even for me. Andy Summers uses it fucking great. Yeah, yeah. But it's a cool chord, especially if you're doing ballads or kind of like a slow jam kind of thing. Because what happens is when you're using a dominant 7 like that and using it as a 5, you get that in there. You can get those really cool tones like that. You get really cool. Those are really cool tones. What's up, Scott? Yeah, it's like the message about. Yeah, it's like C sharp. But it's like he does like yeah, he does. But I think he's using all 4 fingers. I forgot what he does. He has like a weird rhythm to those. Yeah, like a 152 or something like that. He does like a, but he's got like a weird picking pattern. I don't remember what it is. I have to take a look at it because that's a really good song to use for a lesson. Why are so many guitar player jokes one-liners? So the rest of the band can understand them. Oh man, I'm gonna have to twist that tomorrow too. Why are so many wife jokes one-liners? Blonde wife jokes. So yeah, it's one of those things. You know, you just have to be careful. Let's see. Now where was I? Turn the reverb back up. Yeah, I like sliding in that 7 to that. Then you get the 6 in there too, like that. But those are like more jazzy kind of licks. But those are fun, man. What's up, Jerry? But that's the same too. Like those kind of licks, you're gonna be careful with. You know, like so some of those notes sound great if you're playing like a slower groove. You know, where the faster kind, like the, you gotta be careful of those. It depends. Well, it depends. The scale depends on where you're starting it at. That's why I don't go by that. So like if I'm playing in G major, if I start on the 2, It doesn't matter to me if I start on a 3. I don't think that's why I think more of we don't speak modes here. Yeah, that's why I don't like because modes to me aren't the true form of playing, because what happens is the real mode of playing is like if I take an A chord, I'll play A major. A sharp major. G major. C major. A diminished. A whole tone. So like that's like real modal playing to me. You're a teenage guitar player who doesn't know anything about what I'm doing, just feeling it. Okay. You can if you got a really good ear. Yeah, I'll use the modes for exactly what you say, but usually it's scale tones. I'll just call it a scale tone because the scale tones to me are relevant to the chord tones, the triad. So I think of everything for me is in numbers, not modes. I've that It's like a combination to a lock. I think of it mathematically as opposed to, you know what I mean? Row 1. Secretion. If you got a B out of ear, you can do it. You can do it. Yeah, yeah. If you're doing it, like, again, it depends. Like the young gentleman said, he doesn't really know of anything. He just tries to do it by feel. That's really good to do, but it depends on what your goal is. Like as far as like what you're trying to do with music in general. Because what ends up happening is you start off and then you start figuring a couple things out, and then you want to take theory because you're like, now I need to deep dive into it because I'm at the point where I think I need to know how and why these things work. But like same thing, like if I'm playing like licks or chords. I need to know where I'm going to go with that. So example, let's see. Let me play this track for the kid. So I don't know if you heard the tracks. Oh, but let me play you one of the tracks and I'll show you what I mean. So that right there, to get that to sound really good, is a lot of theory. The videos don't make no sense to you. First thing I would do is like learn like a G major scale. What, did I freeze? No. So like the root, something like that, theory wise. But the first thing to do is learn how to tune a guitar, obviously. And when it's tuned properly, this is an E pentatonic. Those open strings are E pentatonic if it's tuned correctly. So like when I was playing that, when I would get to that G or A, I would hear that A, and I might play Or so the note would match the chord where I'm starting the lick from. But it's layers and layers, and it takes a long time to get to that point. I would suggest maybe just looking at learning songs is not bad either. Oh, you just made something that shows? Well, share it with them. You should share it with them. Yeah, it feels really important. But so is this. To create harmony and to know when the hi-hats close. See what I'm saying? There's rules to music where you hear it closing on the snare. Take it, take it. That's where the rhythm kind of starts at. You know that the. So there's like certain engaging rules. So like if I'm going like. So I might do a lick off of that. You know, and to get to where you're going like. That's going to take a lot of time in theory. Yeah. You just got to keep plugging along. That's all you got to do. So if you started as a piano player, you got a jump because I did too. Google Shred keys. There you go. Google Shred keys. Yeah. And well, a lot of people don't understand. Playing covers is one thing. Writing music is a whole nother area. That's a whole nother aspect of music. Like knowing theory is one thing. Playing with a band is a whole nother experience. Playing with guys like I do, like Dave Spitz and Patrick from Yngwie, that's a whole nother experience as opposed to playing with like cover guys. Writing for a major label artist is a lot different than writing for myself, even though I kind of put some of the elements in there. There's a lot of different areas in the music industry, even as a player. So if I'm writing like I'm saying, like if I'm doing licks for myself and I'm going, I might try to do tasty licks and it's all timed. Like those are some of the licks you guys heard, but those I there's a time and when to play, when not to play, overplaying. Yeah, you gotta like I have. If you go into my older videos, you can type up Jitboy and G major scale and start from there. Yeah, you got to know the major scale because the major scale has started everything by a vocal monk, and that's how music is created. Do re mi fa sol la ti do, and those notes out of the scale create a 1 3 5, create a chord. But that also teaches you on how to harmonize. So vocals are a 1, a 3, or a 5. But that's also how you resolve. So when you think of harmony, vocal harmonies, that's how I hear resolves. And I know that's going to sound way out there for you. Your strings turn to dry spaghetti. We'll put more sauce on them. Yeah, trial and error. Yeah, that's what we did as a kid. What's up, William? Yeah, so like when I first started playing guitar, I didn't have big musical instruction. I was fucking wearing out like fucking Eddie Van Halen and Foghat records, playing them 100 times and trying to figure it out. First I'd have a tuner. G A B C D F G. Yeah, you got to learn your major scale first. And G major is relevant to the open string tuning, which is E minor. So your open string, that's the E minor pentatonic. You got an E, a B, a G, a D, A, E, E, G, A, B. It's the same notes repeated. Yeah, and once you learn those kind of things, it'll help improve your ear. Hearing the notes over and over again, it'll help you to figure out songs quicker too. No, music theory is pretty like once you understand the basics and you get even when you start to get into like even when I was learning some of this stuff, I didn't like they don't teach me how I play. You know what I mean? I learned a lot of musical theory in different genres like the jazz and how it related like with the chordings and the voicings and it was a different way of playing because you're looking at the music different, but it's still the same thing once I start putting the puzzle pieces together, like fives and ones, and being around Holsworth and guys like that, it made a lot of sense to me. In your project, you're a bass player in the band, but a solo act, you're still the singer. So you probably have a good ear. Yeah, yeah, that's why I teach that. So like if so like a 1 2 a 1 4 5 in the key of G is G, C, and D. But like your minor pentatonic A, that scale shape never changes. So why are we changing our major scale? Obviously to move around, but the basic idea of that major minor scale moving around, that whole idea should be based off every chord and every scale that goes with that chord. So I would play C major, D major, and then your natural flat fives and sevens come in there, which we were taught wrong, you know. So I love Fog Hat, man. Slow ride, take it. Dun-dun-dun, 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 dun-dun-dun. Bum 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 bum. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Music theory, sorcery. Yeah, but I mean that's how I'm able to write like that, you know, and write fast. Yeah, today's the worst you've ever played, and tomorrow you'll be better, guaranteed. Yep. Yeah, I play bass. Those everything that you hear on these are me. The drum programming, the bass. Your guitar playing stayed the same, but your piano faces are better. Dude, that's like the funniest thing I've heard in a while. Yeah, they well, you know, like I've actually gotten worse because I used to put a lot of my time into actually practice for me. But over the years, I was having to write for a lot of people. So I was more on the theory side and putting the puzzles together so that I could write quicker and faster. So a lot of times like when somebody would come to me at 3 in the morning and say, "Hey, can you do this?" I would have to get up and search what was popular on Spotify, and then I would go. So then I would pump out three versions after they'd give me the tracks, and then I would use that to kind of fuel where I was gauging what was out right at that moment so that I can write something very similar that they would be happy with and then put a twist on there. You know what I mean? But again, that's a whole nother craft that has playing has nothing to do with that. It does, but you don't practice for that. That's just theory and putting shit together. Yeah, it's cool that younger kids are coming on here. You know, a lot of people like when I play, you know, and I'm doing all they're like, oh, that's fucking cool as fuck. Yeah, but it won't get you nowhere. So I always want to tell them, it's this that'll get you somewhere. Here's the next one. Now I'm not in key for this. The boomer bench. So being able to put songs like that together that people will like or sound good, or even the actual aspect of how to mix that down and create a mix that's pleasing to most people's ears. Those are whole. That's a crazy. That's like a whole nother field of like this. It's getting into sound, and once you get into sound, you know, and that's a whole nother thing. Mocking the '80s Camaro. There's no dominant seventh in that one. Yeah, yeah. That's what your mom said, Adrian, before you got here. That's funny, man. Diatonically is important too. Yeah. Which major minor chords belong to the key. That's why I said, like, when you start looking at stuff and you go, well, you take the A minor pentatonic. And then you start looking at all the keys that have an A minor pentatonic to tie it in. There's only 3 keys. That's F major, G major, and C major. So now you got F, G, and C. So you start using your A minor for your licks. And then you start writing songs like that by putting a scale that's in 3 different keys, and then you figure out what the keys are, and you start using those chords, and then you start to look at that and go, well, that's a fucking flat 7 if I flat my 7 in G. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you go, well, wait a second. There it is in fucking C major. Because F is no sharp or flat. It's crazy that you can put like all that together and just start understanding it. You love the sugar pink guitar pop. How can that apply? Simple basic chords. Like if you're there's a song. That easy. And what's that out of? Major scale. And then suddenly you're in Lydian. Yeah. What did it say? 8? Yeah. Red Shell Scream Therapy. It's an awesome new band. What's up, Mechanic Jams? Yeah, man. Learn the major scale. Because that's where everything's at. So even if you learn an A minor pentatonic, you can play chords off all these notes right here. You can play backwards. So you can play inverted chords even off of those scale notes. So you wanted the pink pop song? Those are all your scale notes in that one scale that you can turn into chords. That's what the major scale will do for you. Hair metal glam. I don't know who that is. I'll have to check them out. 29, it might be a pack. What the fuck is pink pop? That was pink pop. It's kind of like, it's like it's like bubblegum pop, kind of like it's the best way, like punk pop, but with it's hard to explain really. I think of pink pop like Wet Leg, kind of. Wet Leg is like a good example, and she's hot. That's gonna be my next wife. But Wet Leg, bands like that. And there's another band with a drummer and a girl and a guy. I forget the name. It's like Negotia or something like that. It's something weird. I've been watching them too. Just gotta pop it. Yeah. So like even there. I mean, you could create all kinds of stuff just off one scale. Megan Trainor, Bubblegum Country. Yeah, it's kind of similar to that to me. The beauty of rock is you can stay with power chords and begin hitting and suggesting keys. Yeah, like the one I did is I don't know which one that was. It's on here somewhere. But I'm playing chromatics. That's what I was playing. I think that's the last. Is it the last one? No, that's not the last one. Which one is that? Let me see. That's a kind of a cool progression. Of course, I don't play it exactly the same way. The first one. So that's what I was doing. Of course, I'm in a different tuning, but you see what I mean? Like simple little A to E, back to the G. It's back to the relative minor. G to the A. A to the fifth is the E. And that's how I come up with the riff. Wet Leg. I'm going to have to look him up. Yeah. Oh, you looked up Teddy Swims? Yeah. The jump with David Lee Roth? Yeah, that was kind of cool. David's got to stop singing, though. He's hurting my ears lately. I don't know why the fuck he's trying to sing so high. Jump! Everybody jump! And his like voice is cracking. I'm like, dude, you didn't sing that like that. It was like, jump, everybody. I was like, Panama. Now it's Panama. I'm like, dude, why are you trying to sing so high? I don't get that. I like Teddy Swims though. Wet Lake's kind of cool. She's sexy. Mr. Night Owl, doing that now. Cole Swindle. As a bassist, I do a big no, which is having a lot of clack near the pickup. Huh? Clack near the pickup. Oh, the pitch shifter? Yeah, I love a pitch shifter. All right, bro. Tom, it's always a pleasure. Ask your wife about dominant sevens. Yeah. Quiz the kids. You should have quiz the family and dominant seventh night every Tuesday with some pizza. All right, brother. Be safe. Wow, I just realized it's kind of early. Yeah, it's only 10, man. Could like Dave's trying to hit Michael. Yeah, that's the first thing. You know, Sammy had a high voice, Sammy Hagar. And I always thought he was trying to compete with him vocally, which he shouldn't have. Black guy, hate to prove it. You could be folding laundry like me forever. Oh my wife and I were watching Joe Wentz project the other night, and he's like, "Oh, I can't shred like you. You're like a master shredder." And I go, "See what he said?" She goes, "Go fold the laundry, Mister Shredder." Oh man, yeah, I got tons of guitars. The Kiesel right there is a custom guitar, the white one. That was a custom Aries. I don't know, is there any more that you can see in there? The purple Fender, that's a custom. Yeah, Dave should worry about keeping up with the 1978 instead of Sammy. Yeah, I liked when Dave was like more natural singing. You know, outside these stinking streets, crazy, I'm a blah, same. It was like more his normal talking voice. Crazy's on the block. 4.0. Niles from Frasier. He does. He's starting to look like Doogie Howser. At least he's not like he stopped with the swinging of the hips and strutting. It's too late for Mark. I love you too, brother. Stay safe, man. Like Bad Brad singing whispers. Velvet Hammer, I'm coming to town. Yeah. Yeah, that. By the way, that cracked me up when he was talking about how he's singing the blues. Yeah, you gotta bail her. Going down the train last night. Got on the bus and I said, "Hey, ladies, move over. Bad Brad's on Hammer Time. The Golden Hammer." I'm like, bro, you're not singing. It's like blues is like scatting. You're not really. And then he would hold like a note, like going on the hammer. Like he'd hit like one note with one chord. Woke up this morning and I said, hammer. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Oh yeah, he's not wearing the overalls. I couldn't stand that look. Yeah, that's a weird thing. You know, that's why I said when I was watching the Monsters of Rock and there's more video coming out and stuff, and I was like, the day I'll know when it's time to hang it up permanently, like where I just don't play no more. And it's not going to be, my career has switched paths. Now I'm a social media superstar because my community said so. Look, there's Velvet Hammer. Oh my God, honey, get the kids. Yeah, I don't. Some of the bands need to just stop. I haven't seen Mick sing lately. Whew. But it can't be good. But I mean, he wasn't really a great singer to begin with. Yeah, Bon Jovi needs to fucking stop. David Lee, fucking Don Dokken needs to just. Why can't they? The problem is they love ego and they love the limelight and they have to be in it. Some have to do it for the money, but fuck it, go become an A&R guy for the record label or something. Go, I don't know, open a fucking music shop, give singing lessons. Go to it's I get that I, you know what I mean? Go do something like that. No, I can't picture fucking Dave wearing ass chaps. He'd probably got a diaper on. Yeah, Springsteen can't sing no more either. And there are guys that still are a little bit older that can sing. Like Brian Adams. I haven't. Is Huey Lewis still torn? I don't know. I know he was fucking good too. But I'll tell you, Mister. I just watched some videos where they were doing some like live things. That fucking guy can still sing. Jesus. Carry on my way, but on the fire. Man, that fucking voice he's got. Sting can still sing pretty good too. Tiny Tim fall out on stage? Maybe. Too much meth. Him and Jakey Lee doing meth. Yeah, I wanted to be David Lee Roth when I was young. Now that he's gotten older and I've gotten older, I don't want to be David Lee Roth. I want to be me. Oh, he can't hear? I didn't know that, man. Thanks, Scott. I used to love Huey Lewis and the News. Like, I Want a New Drug and all those songs. They were so fucking good. They were great. They had a great sound live. You know who else I liked live was Kicks. Oh my god, they sounded amazing live. Did you guys ever see Kicks? You got his ego feminine, who's a radio DJ. Yeah, it's kind of like trying to get that high rasp, like something leave on. Like, why try to do that when you could just go leave on a Sunday? I mean, you could just sing natural and it would sound better. Like, they can't hear that. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's ego competing. Like, I seen some guitar players that were really good guitar players, and they try to overplay still, and it sounds bad to me. Like, they don't have they're not smooth no more. It's like I'm like, oh my god, stop. You ate Kix cereal? Yeah, I didn't know that. The thing is, like, I don't. You're gonna laugh. I don't listen to a lot of music, only when I have to. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. It's kind of like if you make pizza, you're not gonna eat it all the time. So I try to stay away from music when I'm not doing any. Like, I don't play music in my car. Is that weird? Kicks. Mothers approved it. Kicks is for kids. Remember Tricks? That's probably where they got the name, right? Tricks is for kids, you silly rabbit. Kicks is for kids, you rockin' rabbit. Yeah, yeah. Dave was crazy. He go out on his own in the fucking Amazon jungle. Yeah, yeah. See, Rick Emmett's smart, and he can still hold the notes, and it sounds beautiful. Magic power in the music in me. You know, he doesn't hit that high note. Now, Dawkins, is just like, in my dreams, it's still the. I'm like, dude, you ain't even got a push, and I've been trying. It's like, it's like, are you gonna? It's like, you know, when the guy, like when my kid was like a baby and he'd fall asleep eating his chicken nuggets. In my dreams, it's still. Yeah. I hate to say that about Don because I love Dawkins, but at some point you gotta stop. Oh, really? When I met Dave, but he was a lot younger. But it was he was with Vi, and it was in a strip bar, and he was really cool because he remembered me from Eddie. But he was always nice to me. Like everything that you see on everything you see on camera is like a fucking act with that guy. It's like he can't just be normal, dude. Like people would probably love you if you were normal and sang like regular. You don't have to be that big. Like as you can go out gracefully. Like I just watched what's his name, Lewis with L.A. Guns. He was dressed in white. His hair's all gray and he cut it short. He sounded fucking great. Oh, Frankie Valley, no. Well, it's like Ozzy. They kept pushing Ozzy. He couldn't sing no more either. As much as I'm a huge Ozzy fan, you know, and then trying to get like the Post Malones and the Young Bloods involved, and stupid. I mean, fucking Ozzy was done, and you're trying to make him relevant again. Guy can't even fucking walk. You're just beating him into a fucking. You just want all. She's opening his wallet as he's got one foot in the grave. Yeah. David Gilmour? I don't think so. He still plays well. He sounds fucking great when he sings too. Kind of Steve Lukather's the same way. Steve Lukather still sounds fucking great when he sings and plays. Yeah, I think Sharon did it to him. All right, Polly. See you next time, brother. Drive safe. Be safe. Like Ozzy said, why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly? No. Yeah. Luke is still young. Yeah, Sammy still sounds good. I mean, he's cracking more. He's he used to not crack at all, but he cracks a little bit. But Hager's still pretty good. I haven't seen Lenny in a while, like singing or performing. I don't even know what he did. I see him like in like an award show and stuff. I should probably turn that down a little bit. Whoops. Lenny Kravitz has a tour coming up. Really? He still looks great though. I don't know how he's singing. Robin Trout is like 112. Yeah, I don't think he should be playing though. He still plays well, but he's getting old, man. It's like, fuck, dude, just enjoy your life. Like that was one thing that I couldn't like. Even for me, I I didn't want to. I don't want to be on a stage at fucking 50 or 48. I just, you know, I would get up and do some shows with some people, but I just wanted to write and stuff. And I didn't write for a long time. I didn't have anything to do with the industry for like 12, 13 years. I just fucking walked away like cold turkey. Fuck you, fuck that. I didn't write for anybody. I didn't pick up a guitar for 12, 13 years. I just was done with it all. Yeah, everyone's getting old, man. That's why we need young guys like you, bro. We need some young motherfuckers to fucking do the right thing and fucking kill it. Bring fucking rock and roll back. You're gonna go see LA Guns. Buddy Guy's touring. Yeah, that's a little bit different though. Like Buddy Guy, I don't know, but is he still good? He was still good when I saw him around 80. He was pretty good. Yeah, at some point, it's like how much money do you need, or is it your fucking ego? Like, you know. But again, it's like these guys that you see, you know. Look at Jack Nicholas. I just saw a picture of him with two fucking young girls in a boat. I'm like, bro, they don't like you for your looks. Do you not know that? Anderson Wakeman, the pendulum will swing back. Like that movie that Brad Pitt was in where he turned young again. Yeah, I'm just saying that, well, music is about fun. But it's kind of like, here's the thing though. Like, I see Rick Beato around the holidays and he's not with his family or his kids. And it's like, really, dude, you don't want to take a break for a fucking second so that you can spend time with your family? Is it that important? Is money that fucking your biggest focus? It's either money or ego. And that's not what it's about. And those guys aren't having fun. They have enough money. So what is it about? It's not really about fun. They've been doing it too long. There's like a borderline for some of the guys, like Don Dokken. It can't be fun for you going, in my dreams. I mean, when you watch the videos and you look when you were young, in my dreams, you gotta go, bro, no. You know what I mean? There's like a point where you have to look at yourself in the mirror and compare yourself to what you were and go, is this still, you have to ask yourself, what am I doing this for? Is it the money or am I having fun doing this? If you're having fun, yeah, go out and do it. But I don't think most of these guys are. I think they're just doing it because they love the fucking limelight. They have to be in it. Or they would play local. Like Dave Spitz that I play with. He's in local bands. He doesn't want to travel. He has fun making money and he's not far. He can sleep in his own bed every night. That's what he'll tell you. I can go and play a fucking cover gig, make 400 or 500 bucks, and I'm home by 2 in the morning. And it's fun for him. I mean, everybody has different fun, you know. One of the youngest bands in the game, Mercy Music. Yeah, blues is a little different because it's not like they have to hit all those kind. It's kind of like Beyonce, you know. That's another thing. I understand why we some of those people use tracks. When you're putting on a big show and you're dancing around and moving and doing all the moves, you get winded, especially as you're an older woman. But then you start asking, well, is that fair for fans? You're not really performing for them. But she actually sang it on the record, so it's okay to lip sync. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? Because she's trying to put on the best show she can for the people visually. And that's what they're there for. Not to just hear you, but to see you. Because if they wanted to hear you, you could just put the fucking CD on and hear somebody. You know what I mean? Rick Beato's interview in Rush. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, I'm with you, Deer Creek. I like, since that I got rid of some of the labels and I'm only with the one now, I'm having more fun with Dave and recording tracks for myself. It's a little late for me, but I'm actually I'm enjoying the channel and people like you guys and you and listening to stories and getting to record stuff that I've always wanted to record. So that like it's fun for me, and it'll show in the music, and that's what I mean. It'll carry over. Like you can hear there's like an aggression. If you didn't know that that was me, you'd probably think it was a bunch of young guys because it's aggressive. You're trying to be a younger band that actually matters is the thing. Yeah, you just got to keep pushing, man. There's no easy way in, no easy way out. Once you get in, you want out, and you can't get out that easy. The biggest thing is, you're gonna have to stick to your guns. So you're gonna have to. So here's my advice to you: you're gonna have to look at. Let's say you get to the point where somebody wants to sign you. You're gonna have to make a decision. Do I take the money and get with a big label, make the money for the one or two records for whatever contract they sign, and then my life is good, and then I can do what I want musically as an artist? Or do I just push as an artist and maybe they don't want to give me publishing because I'm writing my own music? So you're gonna have to you'll get to that point. You'll know what you want to do, and that's not for me to decide either. That's up to you. Oh, the copies, yeah, dude. You do 3 tracks a week. I've been doing a lot. I did about maybe 15 this week, but they weren't all mine. But that's what I mean. I've recorded more now than when I was writing for all the bands, like all the artists. I've been because I'm actually enjoying it. Yeah, it's hard to keep your publishing. Yeah, if you go with a smaller label, because most of the bigger labels are going to be like distribution deals anyway. But that's the thing, like I'm still with Atlantic Records for over 40 years. Let's see, 87, 86, 96, 2006, 16, 26. 40 years. But what they do now is they have in-house writers, in-house producers. They're using AI, and they own everything. It's kind of like you work for them, so everything that you do on the clock is theirs. 10 snippets. Yeah, but again, it's like if you want to own your own publishing and stuff like that, it's hard. Dude, I've been using AI. I don't use it for tracks. I use it um, for ideas. But I've been using AI to help write with ideas for like probably at least, I'll say 17 years. So that's one of the programs I had. It's called Grace, and it's through Atlantic Records. No, I never saw that, John. I got to check that out. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, see, that's the fucking weird thing about the labels, man. If they didn't release it. So that's why I started signing NDAs, exactly for what you said, is because I was writing a lot of music and then I wouldn't get paid for it and I'd get pissed off. So I just would say, listen, you're buying that. I'll sign the NDA. You can own it. Because a lot of the stuff that I would do towards the end of the year would get shelved, like you were saying. And a lot of times they will sign an artist to shelve them because you are very similar to somebody that's they're putting out or is already out that is in this. So like Whitesnake and Blue Murder, John Sykes' band, David Coverdale. Am I gonna get in trouble for this? David Coverdale went back to the record label and he said, "Listen, we're already on top. You have to shelve Blue Murder to a point." And he actually paid them money to have John not come out and get play. So what they do is he pays money and they save money by not paying records, radio stations and MTV to play Blue Murder. They only put it. They'll tell them you can only put this in rotation 5 times. We'll give you 100 grand. So just as much as they can make you, they can break you, and they do that all the time. I'm probably gonna get in fucking a lot of trouble for saying that. Computer isn't bad at music theory. That's true. Some versions of AI, one's good. So here, so what you can do with, so like when say like it's like an artist and they're having problems with a song, and I wake up in the middle of the night and then I go and I look to see what's on Spotify, whether it's country pop. I'll ask them, "What do you want?" And they'll say, "Send me a pop track, like a pop kind of mixture of something, and maybe a pop dance, maybe like a pop, pink pop." You know, they'll tell you what they want. So I'll go on Spotify and look, and then what I do is I'll take the actual vocal track and I'll put it into a program, and it searches that label's database. And what it does is it'll create tracks based off of key target words, and then I'll be like, well, that's interesting, or that's interesting. Oh, I don't like that. So then I take the track and then I might learn a part, and then I go, you know what, I've heard that bass line before. That'll work really well if I put it in the back, but I'm going to do it on a keyboard, not on a bass. And then I put something on there and then I start using it. Yeah, Atlantic's really picky. They won't give you your masters back. Atlantic's really bad about that. I shouldn't say that either because all my friends are there. Yeah, he tried to get John kicked out. I, yeah, but you know that's because Coverdale was giving him a lot of hard problems on the vocals and stuff. But you know, the whole thing with that was Whitesnake was already on the charts and they were pushed out, and so John formed Blue Murder and was like kind of pissed off, and it was the same label. I mean, if John, so John was with Whitesnake, so he was signed under the umbrella with the label. So it's like you're already with Geffen. Where are you gonna go, bro? You can't go nowhere else. You're a Geffen artist, and what they'll do is like Aldanova. They held this. So like Fantasy came out. And they signed him to a big deal for like 5, 8 years or something. I forgot what it was, and they wouldn't release any more of his records. And they didn't want to release him because he was a threat to their other artists. So they just shelved his fucking music and wouldn't release his contract. And then that's where Bon Jovi made a deal with Aldo Nova. If you write Young Guns, I'll sign you to my label. Get you out of your contract. Yeah, if you offer enough money for your masters, you will get them back. But you're gonna have to come up with a lot of money. Motley Crue didn't own their publishing or masters. Quiet Riot didn't own their publishing or masters. They didn't even own the fucking name to the band. The producer owned the name Quiet Riot. There's a lot of shit that goes on. Same with Motley Crue, but that's where they get into these bad contract deals. They do it to themselves. But the problem is they don't think it's going to amount to anything. Like a lot of people don't understand. Nikki Six, as much as he can't play bass, he's one of the most powerful people in the music industry. Like if you piss him off, he can ruin you. Yeah, they're cousins. Bon Jovi and Elton, no, yeah. That's why they tried to work out a deal, and John tried to save him. He said, "Well, you write Young Guns for me," and he wrote it. He got no credit for that, and so John signed him, and then the album didn't go nowhere after he did the album, because by then Young Guns was already out. You know, you went from Fantasy to Young Guns, and you already had these songs that were crafted. Like, what are you gonna do? You gotta reinvent yourself, and that's the problem. So like people try to reinvent themselves, like Billy Squire, and they because the label suggests it, and it can make you or break you. You know, like think about you had Styx, Mr. Roboto, that almost ruined them. But then after that, they did some really good stuff. Yeah, changing a band name can kill you. Lines of Coke bought contracts with A&M. Yeah, dude. Like, you know how those A&R guys and they act like they're your friends. Hey, Chris, man, I'm at the airport. Can you come get me? We'll do dinner. I'll pay for everything. You go and get them, and they're fucking writing on their credit card, uh, Chris so and so. They're charging it to you, and you owe the money back to the label. I'm like, you motherfucker, I'll kill you. But it's funny because that's how they do it. Like they would all do that. Like they act like your best friend and they're taking you out to dinners and this and that and like well, you got to pay that back. They wrote it off to your business. Yeah, and what's his name reinvented himself too. Michael Bolton. He was in a rock band, came out with a rock band. Ted Nugent's cousin, Michael Bolton, was rocking, and it was great songs. Then the next thing you know, he's singing fucking opera. Leo. You know, you're like, what the fuck, bro? A $30,000 contract? That's all Atlantic gave Lydia with 30 grand? Or- They did a record for 30,000? But they probably ended up owing 500 grand, right? Yeah, A&R people were fucking idiots, especially back in the 70s and 80s, man. They were clueless. And they were all like friends of friends that got hired by the labels. You know that. They were just friends. Hey, meet my cousin Johnny over here. Hey, how you doing? We're gonna party tonight, right? Right, boys? Yeah. But that's how a lot of them were. So like yeah, so like that $30,000 contract, that was probably a an advancement on the contract. So they probably had to owe whatever they got from money. They ended up paying back because they don't make. Yeah, so whatever they get, they probably owed back. But that's the other thing. It's not like in the old days when you get like you had signing bonuses. Now they're advanced deals. Oh, the Jive Record guys. Yeah. So my wife's one of my wife's friends. She works for the BET guy, Def Jam Records. That's a fucking disaster. Def Jam Records. Oh my god. Zeppelin's manager name? I forget. Oh man, he was like a he was he was pretty big manager. It was like and yeah, Pete or something. I can't remember. I can see his face. The Jive Record guys were in a band. It's called City Boy. Def Jam. That's it. Yeah, Chris Lady, Geffen, Peter Grant. Yeah, I don't even think is Geffen around. Geffen. I think David Geffen stopped. He David is a friend of mine, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Peter Grant. Yeah. Didn't he do didn't he have something to do with Queen too? So some of the guys now what they do is Deer Creek probably could tell you better. They do spec deals and stuff like that. So they'll come to somebody like him or me and they'll offer the band like 300 grand for 3 songs. You get them out on there and they see if they hit or miss. Like record deals used to be, what was it, Deer Creek, like 5 albums in 8 years or something? They don't do that no more. Dave. Yeah, and I forget who Dave was saying about Two Brothers too. I can't remember what he said. There's two brothers that work together too with Sabbath. But like probably a lot of you guys don't even know that when Ozzy did the first 2 albums, those 2 albums, Blizzard and Diary, were actually on um, Ardent Sharon's father's label. I forgot the name of the label. But that's what caused the rift between Sharon and the father. It's because he was sucking all the money out of Ozzy and Sharon couldn't get it, but it was the dad because it was the dad's label. He was the manager, but he also signed him to his label. Kind of like Taylor Swift. There's some crazy stories in the industry. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to. Again, you gotta just before you sign anything, you gotta sit down and go. Let me let me think about this. Long term versus short term. Am I going to have to pay this back? Is it beneficial if I end up owing $1 million or 500 grand? You know what I mean? Jet Records. Yeah, that's it. Jet Records. Yeah, that was Arden's fucking label. Electric's gone too. And I was originally signed to Arista. And Arista got expose before Atlantic. And then Atlantic actually bought Arista just for the artists and the publishing. And they own it. Like Atlantic owns a lot of shit now. Universal Music Group owns a lot of shit. Atlantic. I don't know who even is out there anymore. I think Capital's a part of AT&T, which is, you know, Comcast. Yeah, music stores. Or like what happened to me is going to GIT. It was a perfect opportunity because everyone was talking about it. Everyone was going out there. All my friends were talking about going out there. And everybody went out there. You know, like Scott from Great White and this guy and Joel Hoekstra and this guy. Everybody, Paul Gilbert, everybody was there. It's all owned by BlackRock. Well, Perishing Square owns Universal Music. Perishing Square owns Google, and Google's owned by Alphabet Inc., which is Perishing Square as well. And Perishing Square owns the Canadian Railroad. They own parts of Target, Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, YouTube, and that's Perishing Square. Perishing Square's and they don't talk about Perishing Square, and I don't know why. Pershing Square is fucking huge. Bill, the guy I know, he's worth like $9 billion. That's insane. $9 billion, and they're in cahoots with Tencent from China that owns all the gaming companies, Fortnite and all that, and they own Spotify. That's why Universal Music and Spotify, you can't make money. It's all like what we're saying. Me and Dave were saying in that thing. It's a small fucking group of people that have a fucking stranglehold on the whole industry. That's why you can't get in no more. And that's also yeah, perish. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think the rock and it's the same reason why I took all my Grammys and records off the wall. I think it's garbage. I think that the labels pay for that. It's just a fucking party that it's a paid for party. You know, it took you this long to get Iron Maiden in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What fucking Bad Bunnies in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Get the fuck out of here. It's a joke. It's just recognition for your artists that they filter money into. It's like a foundation that probably they're all on the board of directors. Yeah, corporate names and logos aren't picked randomly. You don't care. I'm writing music like I like. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, if it, you have, that's why I say if you want to do it as a profession and you want to make a lot of money, play the game, get in and out because it's beneficial to do it like that because there's no more 10-year labels, you know, for like contracts. It's one fucking record, and if it fails, they drop you. It's the best way to get out. So you do two really good fucking records, you make a few $1 million, and then you fucking write a really bad record on purpose, and then fucking get out, and now you got your money, and just go fucking do what you want. I mean, you could do it that way too. Yeah, that's the other thing. Industry people are really funny. There was a band here called Crier. Atlantic Records was about to sign them, and they were in the back of the limos with all the record executives, and those guys were like drinking beer and farting in the fucking limo, and they told them to get the fuck out, and they were done. Yeah, ride to ride and disappear, and then do what you want to do, because the thing is, if you can make a lot of money doing country music right now, you go and you do it, because for you to do as an artist and try to make money as an artist doing what you like to do is really hard. So if like White Lion, Mike Tramp cannot get back into the industry. um what's his name from shit, oh man, I can't remember his name, but he's singing like country now too, the rock and metal guy. um but they don't want to accept you, like Beyonce. They didn't want to accept you. Just so happened that Jay-Z's got $1 billion to blow, so you get paid to radio stations 20 million to get her in. Taylor Swift started in country? Not really. Yeah. Her dad was a Merrill Lynch CEO. She's a trust fund baby. And he started a label called Big Machine Records, Big Time Records, Big Machine Records, I forget the name, with another CEO who was a friend of his from DreamWorks, Disney. And he signed his own daughter to his own label, and then hired people like Mitch Malloy and other people. Darius Rucker, yes, that's it. He can't get in. Yeah, Ron Keel was in country for a while. He did it early on, and it was really tough on him. He did get in though. Yeah, Mike Tramp's still pretty good. And that's the thing. That's why I said, you get in there, and you as a young artist, if you're marketable, you'll make a lot of money really fast, like a Gavin Rosdale, and you get out, and then you go do what you love. Oh, it's Zooter. I'll check him out. Zooter. Yeah, I know he just did some shows with Jim Crean, and that's the singer that I became friends with from Sabbath Nights with Vinny Appice's band, Jim, that wanted me to do shows with him. And I know I told him, tell him Smiley said hi. I haven't talked to Mike in fucking years. That's a crazy story. I don't know if you saw the story about that with Dave Spitz. How he was like on the first albums. He was in White Lion, Dave Spitz, because they were signed to Germany, and then when the label dropped, he was like out, and then he was with Great White, then Sabbath. What a fucking history Dave's got. But he said he was jamming with Mike and Vito in a fucking basement in New York. Yeah, the Doors and Grateful Dead. Yeah, those are really good examples. Yeah, and then you got guys like, what's his name? Sold his whole catalog for like $100 million. I'm like, why would you do that? I guess they get to a point like they don't give a shit no more. But that means if you're making money off their music and you go on tour, they're gonna get a big cut of that. So your touring days are gonna be really shitty. I forget who did that. Neil Young, yeah. Yep. And he talks like he still talks about the catalog like he still fucking owns it. Aaron Lewis too. Aaron Lewis was, yeah. He's having a really hard time with the country community. Bruce sold his catalog. No, he did 2 or 3 albums, but he ended up taking he's the one that found Ray Gillen, and he took Ray Gillen to Jake. He was actually in Badlands with Jake, but the other guy was Jake's best friend, the bass player. But then I think he went to Arcadia or something like that. A lot of people leave Sabbath, you know. So I don't know what the deal is there. Like Dio took Vinny Appice, and then you had Ozzy got kicked out. Dio just left, but that's crazy too. Dio was in what? I think, man, Sabbath, Rainbow. Wasn't he in Deep Purple at one time? I can't even remember. Same like David Coverdale, man. All the bands he was in, great bands. Yeah, that's true. They'll find a way to fucking steal your money anyway. Aaron Lewis Sykes is a country artist. The band Bill Murray. Oh, blends country. Is it? Oh, man, is that that? I think I know who you're talking about. There's another guy too. He does blues and metal. That's really good stuff too, man. Country and metal. I don't. Let me. Let's see. I don't even know how you would do that. Country and metal. What's that? Is it normal for old industry people to call great musicians they've never met before just to say they've never signed it? Like, yeah, Dwarf, Dwarf. Yeah, Dio's first band. But Dio was in what? Sabbath, Rainbow. Was he in Deep Purple? I can't remember. Or was that Coverdale? Kind of a newer band. A viral video of one of your songs just to say you did it. Corey Marks. Yeah, he's pretty good. I know he's worked with like Sully from Godsmack and some of those other guys. Oh, he did play with them, but he wasn't a member. Ronnie Dio and the Red Caps, and Angels Missing. 61? Jesus. When I was a kid, you Ben did a version of Horse Ride. Am I detuned? Probably. Yeah, Brothers Kane was good too. Almost sound like Alice in Chains. Let's see. Vegas bands. I don't know. It's hard for me to say because like I've seen some of these like younger country guys telling me about how great Nashville is, and then I've been watching. It's called AJ's Good Times Bar, which he talks about here and there, and they have a live stream on YouTube, and I watch every band almost every night, and I haven't seen one fucking good band or musician yet. Like that was stellar, where I want to move there and learn from him. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But Vegas has a lot of showy stuff out there. It's like you're not going to get right into the clubs out there unless you're any good. You're talking about Vegas, a band, or Vegas, like the city? Quick question. If I, as a nobody, wrote a legit song that would be a hit, what would be the best route to be? Just find one to sell it to, or record it or go viral? Probably the best bet is to like TikTok or something like that and try to do like an acoustic version of it and have the other one ready to go. The city. I don't know. My cousin, her husband, they lived in Vegas. They still live there. I don't know. I've seen some decent bands out there, but not like great bands. Oh yeah, yeah. Hey, that's a great question. Deer Creek probably could help you out with. He got some people famous. Do you should get with Deer Creek? Maybe do a video with him. Yeah. Nashville is just turning into a bunch of cesspool of fucking people from everywhere in the world. Like a lot of Australians, like Ross Campbell's moved out there. This kid Cameron Rue, and they all want to be superstars. And I'm like, dude, it's almost like the '80s. After '80, I'd say like '88, it was fucking done. Nashville's done. When Mitch Malloy moves out of Nashville, and Bad Brad moves out of Nashville, when the Velvet Hammer moves out of Nashville, it's over. You're on the edge of an idea for a song. You could try to put you could try to play your song into the I don't know, like one of the AI programs, like I don't need does chat do it? I know what's the other one they got out there? Suno. I think they got a free version, maybe one of these. Record your idea. Put it in there and see what it does for you. You'll still have tea bags in Nashville. Suitors left standing. Mercy McGuston. Maybe I don't know. Those are like younger bands. Like, how old are you? I don't. You gotta remember, I'm 60. I don't really listen to music anymore. you got a player here. They call it Chili Dog. Layla's. Really? 2002-15. But are they on the radio? None of them on the radio? Did any of them get signed? Justin Johnson. Yeah, he's pretty good. I know Morgan Wallace is pretty popular too. You're 22? What's that thing? How, no, if you don't, as long as you don't publish it. Once you publish it, but you can use it to give you ideas for your parts. You know what I mean? So if you put something in like you use that to create the drums and the bass to give you an idea of what direction, because you can type in the genre that you want to go, jazz, blues, and then it'll help write. Now most of the copyright is going to be for melody. So if you're doing instrumentals and you want to write yourself, so like let's say if I did that, I don't have anything with Suno on it, but I would show you. I would take the guitar and the track, and I would take I would so I'd record my track here. I'd record my track into this, and then I would just pitch that because I can make it perfect here, and then put it into say Suno. Then it would give me the drums and the bass, and I would use that for an idea, and maybe I would take the drums and put the drums into virtual drummer, and then program the drums based off of something similar, and then put that onto my track, and then I might listen to the bass if I'm not a bass player and go, that's not bad, and then I'd do a bass track. But no, you don't lose your copyrights, because if you input your music into AI, it always reads it as, if you put it in there and record it into it, it puts it in that it's a cover of your song. Yeah. Yeah, do you what a songer? I don't know which one's better. I've never used those. And I know I've heard about Suno, but songer. Yeah, but you can, yeah, so like you can go in there and then put, and then you use that to create other ideas for use. So like you can probably prompt it to do lyrics and instrumental. You can prompt it to do metal versions, pop versions, whatever versions you want. I don't know on the free ones how many times they let you do it. Because of course there's going to be some kind of limits unless you buy it. Songer will give you stems. Yeah, so maybe do it on Songer. That would probably be beneficial to you. And then, it just helps you. And then the more you do that with your own ideas, even if you don't use your own ideas or use the songs, it will help you in learning how to write by how AI is writing or using the parts. So you can input your part in there and then listen to what it did and then learn what they did. So you're like how AI takes the everything off the web and filters it, and it learns from that to create what you ask it to do. Well, now you can learn from how it's taking everything. So it's doing the legwork, it's doing the research for you. And then you examine what AI is doing, and then you go, oh, I got it. They're doing this. They're going here. They're writing this part. They're going, you know, they're going to go. I go up or down? Yeah, I had it. So do I go? So that might be what you put, but then it might take it and then take this note off, and it might go. It might use. So it's gonna actually help you in seeing what it does. You could send it to me. Yeah, some of those are cheap. Yeah, you own it 100% because you're the one that came up with it, and you can't copyright drums. And bass isn't really a melody, and you can't copyright guitar sounds. You can't copyright a drum sound. Can't copyright a time signature. It's all the biggest copyright is melody, the vocal. She got eyes of the bluest sky. If they could have paid. You know that the way you sing with the inflections in that melody. Sweet child of mine. You know that kind of witty singing. That'll be a copyright. It all sound the same form. Yeah, yeah. Because it's taking all that shit. Same instrument sounds, yeah. It gets tiring quickly. What would Diane Warren do? Yeah, yeah. So you know, and then like I said, you just use it. That's why I would use AI more as a tool. So I've been using it for a long time, but you know, if I'm doing something where I'm going, and then it comes back and it's just as opposed to, and AI goes, nah, not good enough. And it changes that. I go, okay, that sounds better. So then I learn that, and then I go, okay, I'll use that. And then AI might go and do some kind of weird. I go, nah, I don't like that. And then I go, I like that instead of. And then I go, okay, I'd rather do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Nashville's done, man. I think Florida is going to come back because so many people are moving here from all these other states like New York and California, and Mitch is moving back from Nashville, and Bad Brad's here. I think they're gonna almost like back in the spring break days when the clubs and the bands. You got to remember we have the Hard Rock here. It's big, that big fucking guitar building, and we have a lot of casinos here, and it's a big state. Then you got Orlando, you got the House of Blues, and we have the House of Rock. I think Florida is going to actually turn into a big music scene again. Yeah, yeah. Almost the Triumph tune. Then you could do your D dominant. You went from Tennessee to Texas? Yeah, the backyard band gigs. Yeah, we used to do those when we were kids. Florida death metal. Yeah, it's pretty. It's getting pretty big out here again with that. Like I have some friends, and my buddy Sean, he's in Los Diablos and another band, and my other band, Grin Cynic, really good metal band, Grin Cynic. They just were out on the road with Izzy, not Izzy Stradlin, the other guy from that band. Florida will be badass because all the talents at the Velvet Hammer. Trying to evade taxes. True. And if they do away with property tax, that'll be a big one for me. Yeah, it was the COVID restrictions. Yeah. You're going from New York to Tennessee? Yeah, there's a lot of people coming here, and they're building like crazy. It looks like the 80s and 90s. Velvet Hammer avoids taxes by not making money. What's the make of the green switcher? What this thing? That's a Kemper. See, that's not too far to Creek. I was gonna go. Spread Eagle was just over there, and Alex from Quiet Riot were over there playing. John Rich lives in really. I have property in Westport, Tennessee. I was thinking the same thing, Mr. Night Owl. I'm Yeah, parking in Nashville's parking in Fort Lauderdale is fucking crazy too. It's like $30. Bourbon Street of Tennessee. Yeah. A lot of people say there's a lot of rude people down in Nashville, like Broad Street and stuff. And like this Cameron Rue guy, fucking ego, a lot of ego in these young fucking musicians. And he still doesn't understand. It's not about the band or the music. It He's got it so ass backwards. Music has The reason why you play music live is because people want to hear that. And the more people want to hear it, the more successful you are. And if you're in a cover band, there's a formula. You attract the women, you attract the men. You ring the register, you get booked all the time. He doesn't get that. It's not about playing songs and knowing them note for note. That kid's clueless. Yeah, it's a business. They don't give two fucks about your band. They want to ring the register so they could go home with thousands of dollars in their pocket. Whoever the fuck is playing. You need enough money so you can put on shows. Yeah, and the bars don't give a shit. Like practice time, if you have to practice, the fucking gas to all the shows you're going. Like they don't count all that. What about the wear and tear on your tires, the insurance, if you get in an accident, all the fucking gas, the fucking 5 times you're eating while you're doing all these Nashville show to show to show, and then the strings, the picks, the wear and tear on your gear. So if you're making 40,000 a year, you're really making half of that because all the rest of the money goes back into clothing and food because you didn't LLC and you don't claim taxes, but you could have wrote all that off. These that's a whole nother. They just don't do it right. You could bring all your food and own stuff there. You could probably have a cooler and stuff. And they don't even want you bringing that on the stage. White Castle. Yeah. And now Nashville's going to be bought out by all the corporations because they're trying to push the riffraff out, and they could see they'll make fucking Nashville into another Disneyland. Absolutely, bro. Deer Creek, it's always a pleasure, bro. Heard him from a friend who heard him from a... I don't know that song. REO. But anyway, yeah, I gotta get going too. I gotta get up early in the morning. Early in the morning. So, yeah, I don't know when I'll do another live stream. Probably next week, maybe. I gotta have a surgery done too, small surgery. So I'll be off the waves for a couple days. So thanks everybody for coming on. Thanks for all the new young kids coming on. It's always a pleasure. Fur Dog, good little riff there. I don't know what I played. You'll have to timestamp it. I don't remember. That's like noodling while I'm reading. You know what I mean? All right, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's just a small surgery, but it's I get a they get a cut of cyst and they'll probably drain it. It'll be sore for a couple days. They pack it and then they air it out and everything. But thank you everybody for having yeah, this was like a good talk and like really good. I thought it was very informative, not just by me but you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna check them out now. All right, everybody, peace out. Have a great rest of your week, and keep the music alive. Crank it. Fuck your neighbors. No, just kidding. Peace out, everybody.